Hey everyone, I'm Lingjiao. I am a CS PhD student at Stanford University. I'm working with Matilda Zaharia and James Doe, and more recently I'm been working on the machine learning as a service market, and more specifically, language language model as a service marketplace. I drink coffee a little bit and typically just go to Starbucks and buy a tall latte there.
So basically, when you're economizing the prompts, what you're doing is you're saying, we've got these two questions. They're completely different questions, right? Like you can see on the slide here, you can see that there's a question about chemistry, and then you also have a question about nature and what helps prey hide, et cetera, et cetera. And what you're doing is, before each one of these, if they were their own prompts, then you would give a question and answer kind of like few shot description to the model saying, hey, here's what I want you to do. Here's the question one, and answer it like this. And then question two, answer two, et cetera, et cetera. And then you give it question, which is the chemistry question. But you say, look, you know what? We don't even need to do two different prompts, because we can just smash these two questions together and ask the large language model at the same time. All right, and say, well, here's question one, here's question two looks like, here's question, and actually what I see in this slide is even better, and I didn't even recognize this yesterday, but you have question one and question two together, and then you have answer one and answer two. So you're pairing the questions so that the model isn't thrown off when you give it two questions and ask it for two answers. And it all makes sense now. I totally understand it, and hopefully the listeners do too. And if they don't, then I'm going to encourage them to go and look at the YouTube video, because you can see the slide clearly and you can really get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for explaining the whole thing. You explained it way better than me.
It's not. Oh man, I was just waiting for you to be like, I learned a little bit there.
Maybe I could be the host and you are the talk like the speaker, right? And
yeah. I'll go on a road show and I'll just teach other people your paper and claim it as mine. You gotta get a copyright on this. Oh, I do see copyright here in the bottom corner. So we'll just put my name on that and forget that it ever happened. But dude, so anyway, I mean, that's awesome, because the big question that I had yesterday, I remember, was like, how can you tell? Like, I couldn't see how the model would not blend the answers. But now I easily see it, because the prompts that you're giving it are questions and answers in pairs. So then the prompt that you give it is, or the last question answer pair, you just say like, here, answer these last two questions, and boom, then you have it. And so back to the $1 million question, which is, how does this actually save money?
Right, that's a great point. So why would this save money, right? You can basically compare the original two queries or two questions versus the new question we have, right? So in the previous version, we have those two queries. You need to process those two questions as well as the prompts twice, right? But now in this like batch or this concatenated query, you only need to process the prompt once, right? So therefore, you actually avoid redundant prompt processing, and that saves you the money.
And have you tried, like, how much can you push this? Can you do it with two questions? Can you do it with 10 question pairs? Like, how far did you try and go?
Right. So so far we tried to push this to up to 4 questions. So that, roughly speaking, saves you about 70% of the cost, which also does not hurt your accuracy. So that's what we try so far. And I think in general, this could be pushed to much further depending on the maximum prompt size. So for instance, if you're using like standard GPT-4 with like 80,000 token window size, and if each of your queries like a few hundred, then you can push this to a 20, 40, or even 80 examples. So that can save you a lot.